Most people don't fail financially because they're lazy. They fail because they follow money rules that sound normal but quietly keep them broke. If you're working hard, making decent money, and still feel like nothing sticks, you're not alone. The truth is that wealth usually comes from a few repeatable systems, not luck, not genius, and not perfect timing. Today, I'll walk you through 5 simple money rules that quietly compound over time. They aren't exciting, but they work. These rules aren't theory. They're grounded in mainstream personal finance research and the same frameworks that high earners eventually adopt, often after learning the hard way. Think of these as the default settings your money should be running on. The first rule is to pay yourself first, but make it automatic. The most reliable way to build wealth isn't discipline or willpower. It's automation. If saving happens after spending, it usually doesn't happen at all. Instead, choose a percentage of your take-home pay, even something as small as 5%, and set it to move automatically within 24 hours of payday. Then increase it slowly, maybe 1% at a time, as your comfort level grows. If you take home $6,000 a month, 5% is $300. That may not feel life-changing today, but over a year, it adds up, and more importantly, the habit becomes permanent. Automation beats motivation because motivation eventually runs out. The second rule is to build a boring emergency fund before trying to get fancy with investing. Many people believe investing is what builds wealth. But for most households, what actually destroys progress are unexpected expenses. Car repairs, medical bills, job interruptions, and family emergencies all have a way of showing up at the worst time. Without a cash buffer, people are forced to rely on credit cards, loans, or selling investments at a loss. Start with a small goal like $1,000 to create a buffer. Then work toward 1 month of essential expenses and eventually 3 to 6 months if your income is unpredictable. You're not falling behind by doing this. You're building the foundation that keeps you from sliding backward. The third rule is that your savings rate matters more than your salary. 2 people can earn the same income and end up with completely different financial lives. The difference is how much they keep. One of the simplest numbers to track is your savings rate, which is your income minus expenses divided by your income. Another helpful number is net cash flow, which is simply income minus expenses. If your cash flow is negative, investing advice won't help yet. Fixing cash flow comes first. For example, if you earn $6,000 a month and spend $5,200, your net cash flow is $800. That's a savings rate of over 13%, which is a strong wealth-building position. If you're getting value so far, remember this. If you only implement one of these rules, start with automation. That single change has a disproportionate impact over time. The fourth rule is to eliminate silent spending before cutting the things you actually enjoy. Most people try to budget by cutting fun first, and that usually backfires. Instead, look for spending that doesn't add much happiness. This might include subscriptions you forgot about, fees you ignore, convenience spending you don't remember, or impulse purchases that didn't matter in hindsight. A simple approach is to review the last 30 days of transactions, identify the top 5 spending categories, and choose just one to reduce by about 20% next month. This works because it's targeted and realistic rather than restrictive. The fifth rule is to track net worth monthly, not daily. Daily checking creates anxiety, while monthly tracking creates progress. Net worth is simply your total assets minus your total liabilities. Once a month, update your cash, savings, investments, retirement accounts, and outstanding debts. Then look at the trend over time. Is your net worth rising over 6 to 12 months? Is debt shrinking? Is cash flow improving? Tracking creates awareness. Awareness leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to wealth. Wealth isn't built through one big decision. It's built through a few simple rules repeated long enough that the results become inevitable. Automate your savings, protect yourself with a buffer, focus on your savings rate, cut silent spending, and track your net worth monthly.